Okay, and we will have some more Python. Okay, terminal input output. We have these in Perl, and we also have these in Python. You have a zip file that has a bunch of examples for that. Did y'all use that for the Perl? Okay. You also have it available in Python. They have one on input output. They also have one on writing text files. Okay, you can redirect, and that's kind of nice. I used that before, like I had something that would make it just a whole bunch of errors, and this was back when you really didn't have a place to store the errors, so I just had it all write it to a file and I sold it through them. Okay, use the open file for file input and output. First is the path, the second is the mode. And you have the print chevron, you have the two greater than signs that want to write more than one thing. That's common in a lot of scripting languages, by the way. I used it today. I was doing a script that I was actually pulling IIS counters. You know, how many faults are you having, how many page faults, how much memory you're having. I had it write to a file. And I discovered it was starting it over again with each of them. I said, no, double chevron, do all of them in one file. Done. Tomorrow I'll figure out what they all were. Okay, here's your methods. These are pretty standard. Okay, you can define your own functions in there, and I'm pretty sure that if you go out on the internet, there's a whole bunch of where people have done that and they put out their code. Okay, and what happens is in Python, you explicitly got to return a value. You have to tell it what you want to return. Perl does not do that. It does the last value, and PowerShell sometimes surprises you because it will tell you everything. It will return everything you defined in that function, whether you want it or not. Okay, the nice thing about Python functions, a lot of functions when they don't find anything, they throw an error saying I can't find anything, I'm done, I'm just upset, I can't work under these conditions. Python just returns an object called none. Okay, you can declare your parameters. You can have some of them, you can have default arguments. You can have some that are required. Okay, and you got your control flow. The best thing I can tell you on control flow is that if you're bouncing along a number of languages, which it seems that programmers are these days, they no longer say what language are you programming in. They say what's your development stack. For example, if you're a web developer, you may be developing in Java or C#, but you also may have JSON calls. You may have JQ widgets calls. You may have JavaScript calls. A couple other things that don't come to mind right now. Oh, you may have entity framework, and you may have a couple other things. So these days, you almost have to be multilingual just to work. When you do that, you might have to stop and think about, okay, what is if in this language? Truthiness and falsiness. I was amused when I saw this. Every object in Python can be evaluated for its truth value. Rock comes back as true. It's basically like, a lot of languages like SQL don't have a true Boolean, so they use 0 or 1. It's the same idea. If it comes out 0, it's false. If it comes out 1 or more, it's true. That's the idea. Okay, Perl, Python has the concept of modules. A lot of your scripting languages do. The idea, these are the things that you use over and over and over again, so you put them in one place. Like I work with security, I work with Department of Defense checklist. A lot of them are very the same. I've got one module that has all the things I use to access their checklist and pull values in. Okay, the Python scope works a lot like the other scope you've seen. Okay, and the thing about the scope, it says it's statically scoped. What happens is it's scoped when it goes through its, they have these little compilers that put it in opcode. It decides then what it wants to do with something. Okay, the reading and watching assignments. I get it to show up. There we go. Now I'll tell you, when I was reviewing for this class, I went through this too. I read the article. It took about 2 or 3 hours to go through the videos, but I'm sure you all know the trick of hitting the gear and having to do it twice, that where for most people you can still understand them at 1.5 to 2 times. Somebody like me, you can probably do 3. But okay, so now you're all experts on Python. You're ready to go forth and do that great project. I've seen the IT look from some of y'all really got it down. Okay, you want to look over the folder, make sure there's nothing else I need to share with you. Okay, that Python examples, that is a zip file packed full of goodies. I would look there first before looking on the internet. After I did a couple of these looking on the internet, I call them the fact that Dr. Sessions, when she did these, she probably started with those. Nothing wrong with going out on the internet. Okay, you see the one that says important differences between Python 2x and 3x with examples? You need to look at that because you will have Python 3 on your machines. Okay, the purpose of the shebang, it discussed that, and that's also will help you. Okay, let's see if this is going to work. Okay, I'm going to start.